Just a bit further on the left-hand side, we're going to see some of the wooden houses, and a lot of the houses in the Middle Ages were just like that. The old chain steps was too dangerous for fire. Here in history of Bruges, we had 2 or 3 big fires. So the wooden houses.
Jeg er klar, Simon. Det bliver godt.
Here on the left-hand side, we have some small private 18th century houses. I'll show you the houses because they are really small. You can see the house with the white on the side, some small houses. So actually here we have 4 houses if you look good. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiny houses. Please be careful for the bridges on our tour. We have some low bridges, so don't stand up. On the right-hand side, we have the old St. John's Hospital from the year 1188 and was a hospital until the year 1976. Was the main hospital for Bruges and for far outside of Bruges as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please be very careful for our next bridge. We're calling it the Guillotine Bridge, so mind your head, please. Mind your head, please. On the left-hand side, we have one of the 2 breweries in Bruges. It's the Half Moon Brewery, and sometimes you can smell the burnt hops from brewing the beers. This here is the Lake of Love, also one of the places for the swans, and here in Bruges we have around 150 swans. In front of you, you can see our lock system. It's in use to control the water level in the inner city. The water after the building is 1 meter higher.
Vender vi om her.
Oh my god!
house beers of the brewery are really not bad. It's called Bruxelles and Straffe Gendrik. The Bruxelles means the brewed joker, but it's a fine good beer. It's our #1 local beer. So you can see some of the burnt hops, you can smell it as well. Please be careful, it's the same bridge, don't stand up. Here in front of us you can see the oldest tower of Bruges, is the St. Salvasius Cathedral. The first foundation was in the 9th century. It's the oldest tower. This part downstairs of the construction was actually for the people that died in the hospital. They picked them up with the boats to the graveyard. You can see the white board over here, so that's how they did it. The healthcare back in the days wasn't that good, so a lot of people died in the hospital.
Like something also what you do by
Here on the left-hand side we have the Palace of Grüthuise. One of the reasons they became that rich was because they were selling the spice grits for brewing the beers. The palace was on the left and on the right, so I think they did pretty good. The towers of the construction, they are a symbol of richdom. Here on top of the construction you can also see the gargoyles, and they are very beautiful, some beautiful details. Population in the inner city today is around 20,000 people, but back in our golden century that was 46,000, more than the double, and our golden century was the 13th century. Here on the left-hand side we have the other brewery, is the Bourgogne de Flandres brewery. So the two are nice to visit if you like beer, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, please be very careful on the right. We have another low bridge. I am not the best driver, so pay attention. I don't have any license, so good. This is the Belfry Tower. It's a tower from 83 meters high, and it has a carillon with 47 bells. All those bells together weigh 27 tons. To go upstairs, you need to do it 366 steps. We have no elevator inside of it, so good luck. Once you get on top, we have the most impressive view of Bruges. If you look good to the tower, it leans 1 meter to the right. You can see it, 1 meter to the right. Here in front of us you can see the oldest bridge from Bruges. It's called the Mee Bridge, and it was built in the year 1235. It's the oldest bridge. The stones downstairs of it are authentic, the ones on top are not authentic. Right over here we're going to see a small tea house, and a tea house was very typical for the 19th century. Was only for the rich people, was for the wealthy. A tea house.
Alexander, du må ikke slås. Ja. Og de var lidt vilde, Cecilie. Ja, det er sådan noget.
The water level here is 2 or 3 meters, and in Bruges we have also 41 bridges. All the canals together are 17 kilometers long. Originally it was a river, but around the 18th century they made a canal from it. It was very important for the trade. Bruges was a very important trade city. On the right hand side we're going to see the construction date, and you can find that on a lot of constructions in Bruges. 1675, the construction date. So 41 bridges, and this one is by far the ugliest one. It's also the newest one from our tour.
Den her bro er den mest fremme. Der er fra 75.
Right over here we have the old harbor, and the most important times for the harbor were between the 9th and the 12th century, that it was an international harbor. If you look good on the sides, you can still see the rings to attach the boats. This building was the Burgers Lodge and was the trade center of the Middle Ages, was for the rich business people. They could discuss the problems and they had a view. Some modern houses. I don't know what happened. I like it, but not in Bruges. It doesn't fit. It's a bit strange because all of the inner city is so protected since 2002, so I don't like it. This is the statue of Jan van Eyck. He was the most known Flemish primitive painter in history. The primitive painters were a small selected group of the Flemish painters. He was very good, he got in the statue, so anyway he was good, otherwise no statue, I guess. On the left hand side you can see the smallest restaurant of Bruges. It's called Restaurant Spinola. It's the smallest restaurant. It's not the cheapest one. On the left-hand side we have the canal connection with the North Sea. The North Sea connection was the most important connection in history of Bruges. Was very important for the trade. It's around 15 kilometers. But like 300 years ago, the sea was a lot closer to our city, but the sea pulled back. So to the seaside, straight ahead from here to the sea. Watch out for the bridge. Okay. Here on the left hand side we have some typical houses. We call it step gables. You can see it on top. You can also find them in the other lower countries, such as the north of the French and the Netherlands. Step gables. So sometimes downstairs of the houses, on the side of the doors, you can see the holes with the black metal things. It was to clean your shoes. So we have one over here, another one over there. It's to clean your shoes. Here on the canals we have 20 boats and 5 different companies. There is a limit for boats the company. Private boats are not allowed. It's not like in Amsterdam or in Ghent. It has also his charm with the boats on the side, but here I think it's more quiet. On the right hand side you can see our flag is the city flag. It's with a lion on it, is the Flemish lion. This here is an amazing view and it's very loved by the artists with the 2 oldest bridges, by the photographers, the drawers and the painters. It's very loved. On the right hand side we're going to see a window tax, an example of the window tax. So back in the days, how more windows you had, how more taxes you needed to pay. So they closed it with bricks. It's a window tax. We have the former Palace of Justice. So back in the days they transported it, the bad guys with the boats, and the entrance for the bad guys was the red door in the middle. We had also some men upstairs with weapons, so it was impossible to escape, it was not possible. And the entrance for the criminals was right over here, the door in the middle. Construction was finished in 1608. That's easy for me. Here we have again some of the wooden houses. Not much left of those houses, but they are beautiful. This here is the Rosenwood Kai and is the most photographed spot of Bruges. It's the most photographed. You can see it, eh? And then last but not least is the Church of Our Lady. It's 122 meters high and is the highest one in Europe, built in the tiny bricks. The church was actually built over 3 centuries, so from the 12th, 13th and 14th. It took more than 300 years to build it. It's amazing. Here in our small city we have 21 churches. It was a very Catholic city. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention and for your time. We're coming to the end of our boat tour. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you a pleasant stay and a very good day for you, of course, as well, with not too much rain, I hope. If you are satisfied about the tour, the explanation is nice for a captain to have a small tip, but most of all, have a really good time in our beautiful city, please. I think it's beautiful, eh? So have a good time. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Det går så galt.
Nå, Markus.
Han er tæt.
Nå.
Nej, han gør ikke det.
Så er der en lille mand derhjemme,